What up, what up? If you're getting here early, make sure to drop a like on the stream and we'll jump right into it. Any questions too for anyone getting here early, make sure to drop them in. Take advantage of the fact that the chat is not yet ripping. Also, no second phone on me today, so would really appreciate any price updates or any news updates happening in real time. Can't check in out on myself, but there's definitely some things I want to go over. What up? What up, Messi? Skepture, Michael, Strong Mountain, Murdoch. What up, Murdoch? You got used to the time adjustment, man. You got the time adjustment down. That's what we like to see. Dave, Defin, Tiger, Miguel, Houston, Joe, Adam, Vale, Jeremy. What up, what up, what up? Nice to see everyone. Yeah, Defin, where you living, Defin? Defin, if you're not in the United States, maybe you are. I don't know, but a lot of people saying it's early. I'm earlier than normal. It's because we had daylight savings time in the United States. So in the United States, we like to randomly change the way time works once a year and set everything back or forward an hour. Makes absolutely no sense, but that's just what we do around here. What up, Kayla? Nice to see you. Adam, Hall. Guys, if you're getting here early, make sure to go to the upper right-hand corner. Get that like on the stream. It's really going to help me out. Get more people in here. What up, Halls Balls? Nice to see you. Daniel, nice to see you. Okay, yep. Finland, Sweden. Yep, yeah. No, that's why it seems like we're a little early. Yeah. Nash, what up, what up? Nice to see everyone. Yeah. Let's get that next pump going, right? Let's get that next pump going. Guys, one of the craziest things we're seeing right now is the fact that the Grayscale products are trading at insane premiums. In the Grayscale products, Chainlink is essentially trading at like $100 right now. The reason why I believe this is happening is because I believe institutions want to get exposure to this market, but aren't allowed to actually buy digital assets. So I think the institutions right now are trying to get exposure to the market via the Grayscale products, but can't buy spot. So I think that's a really good sign of what's going to happen to the spot market once institutions can actually step in and start buying these things. It's just absolutely wild to see Chainlink and all these other cryptocurrencies trading at massive premiums. I'm pretty sure XLM is trading at like 60 cents in the Grayscale fund. You would see the same thing with XRP. So what it's saying is there's massive institutional demand essentially in the paper markets that isn't being reflected in the spot market yet. But I think like a lot of things we've seen, right? It's just a sign of what's to come, right? It's a sign of what we're likely going to see flowing into the spot market in the near future. So everything we're seeing in the paper market is telling us that there's a lot of institutional FOMO going on right now. And guys, I think institutional FOMO puts this market in one place only, and that's much higher than where we are today. Oh, today is March 12th. This is the day the Federal Reserve's bank thing ends. Yeah, a lot of people made a big deal about that. I kind of knew it wasn't going to be much of anything. Whenever there's big events like that everyone's watching for like a certain date, like you can almost count on that date not actually being that significant. Good, Daniel. I'm glad you're doing good. Silver Days says to make sure to smash the like button to help support the channel. Thank you so much, Silver Days. Yeah, guys, also make sure to sub to the channel. We're so close to 50K subscribers, man. So close. Would love to see that. Did I see the CPI data? Yeah, the CPI data was interesting. So two takes from the CPI data. One, the CPI data was not great, right? It wasn't great. But, sorry, one sec. There is good news to take away from the CPI data. So the CPI data was higher than expected. It was 0.1% higher than expected. So is that a massive deal? In my eyes, probably not, right? In my eyes, probably not a huge deal. On the other side of that, it would have been better to see it come in low. institutions like investing in risky assets like cryptocurrencies when times are normal, right? Times are predictable. Times are not in a place where they have to worry about adverse financial events. That's typically when inflation is low, right? And when inflation is high, institutions start worrying and they start to get out of risky assets. So inflation not dropping as fast as we want isn't a great sign. The good news is the market barely even reacted, right? The market's kind of said, okay, well, that wasn't that great, but let's just move on. Who cares? The good news about that is it looks like right now the market's kind of saying, hey, even if we are in high interest rates for longer, well, we aren't really that concerned about that. So regardless of whether or not the inflation data didn't come in great today, the good news is the market didn't seem to really care. I think the market still expects the fact that inflation is going to drop towards the later half of the year and rate cuts are going to come, making cryptocurrencies and risk on assets a better investment. I still think that's where we're headed. I don't think a 0.1% difference on the CPI is going to be the thing that is catastrophic in any way. Was it a good data print? No, not a good data print, right? Like we would have liked to see inflation come in lower, but I also don't necessarily think it's a bad data print. It's just kind of a little worse than expected, but the good news is the market doesn't really care. Thank you, Murdoch. Yeah, guys, make sure to smash the like button. XDC pumped 36% today. Yeah, I did see that XDC pump. XDC was looking pretty good. XDC is a good project for sure. It seems like most of the cryptocurrency market, right, is really starting to get some legs. I think a lot of the things are, right, and I've been thinking about this a lot, right, why things pump in a certain order, right? Why do we see meme coins pump first? And thank you so much for the price updates, Michael. That's really helpful. So why do we see meme coins pump first, right? Well, institutions, right, are a little slower to actually get invested. Institutions don't see something and go instantly, okay, we need to buy that right now, right? They have to go through certain procedures. They need to talk to a certain level of compliance. They need to do all these different things before they can actually buy an asset. Retail investors, right, they see Bitcoin going up and they're like, okay, let's buy every single altcoin we can, every single meme coin we possibly can. So I think a lot of the meme coins indicate retail excitement, but a lot of the reasons why I think XRP, XDC, HBAR, these more institutional grade cryptocurrencies lag is because it's mostly institutions invested in them, right? It's mostly smart money. It's not people rushing in instantaneously to try to get an allocation. It's more of people saying, okay, it looks like this market's ready to go. Let's slowly build our position in. So I think that's a big reason why the utility coins lag a bit. I think they have a more sophisticated investor group with, I think, a lot more money over the long term, but they're not YOLOing all the money they have directly into the coin. Yep, the bridge and decentralized ID are probably going to be the next thing to get some attention. It's important to understand, right, that a lot of these amendments on the XRP ledger are tested by the validators, right? The validators want to make sure these amendments are working properly. Nice to see you, RPM. The validators want to make sure these things are working properly before putting them through. But the validators can't check over every single amendment at once, right? The validators are probably going to work one amendment at a time and really focus on one thing to make sure, right, that that one thing is working properly before they move on to the next. So I think what we're likely going to see is an amendment that's going to get a lot of progress, get past the 80%, and then on to the next thing. Get a lot of progress. In the meantime, everything else is kind of going to be flatlining on progress. So I don't think flatlining on progress necessarily means that the amendment isn't going to get passed or it's not a good amendment or anything. I just think right now it's that the validators are very focused on making sure the automated market maker goes through. And once that goes through, they can kind of focus on the next thing. That's kind of the impression I'm getting. David, nice to see you back, man. Don't worry about it. A lot more live streams when this came from, and a lot of exciting things coming in the future too. I'm definitely working on some things on the back end that I think people are going to find really, really interesting. So I'm super excited to start releasing some of that. Hall's Ball says higher highs and lower lows. That's exactly what we're looking for. Yep. We just need the market, right? We just need the market to get some more excitement behind it. It's funny, like, We saw XRP pump this week, and it might have been the most uneventful news week for XRP we've seen in a while. Every single week for the last couple months, we've seen big announcement after big announcement, banks talking about working with Ripple, different CBDC projects getting leaked. And then suddenly this week where nothing's happening, XRP decides to make a massive move upward. So I think it's only a matter of time though, right? Everything is just positioned perfectly for really making a big move upwards. Haha, Daniel, that's funny, man. XRP Peaky Blinder. Oh, that's good. Yeah, there's been a lot of, the XRP ETF is a really interesting topic because there's a lot of talk about it by people who matter, right? Like Ripple has a product specifically designed for an XRP ETF. They put a position out there about a couple months back specifically saying a managing director for an XRP ETF. That's not something you put out there for fun, right? That's not something you put out there if there's not going to be an XRP ETF. So there's been a couple things kind of dropping like that. You have that BlackRock comment where BlackRock was essentially saying we can't comment on the XRP ETF. You obviously had that weird filing that looked like it was a BlackRock filing. It's just been a lot of things around an XRP ETF. I think we're going to get it in the near future, but I don't think it's going to be something that happens tomorrow, right? I think it's probably the people who don't think it's going to happen for a very long time. I think it's going to happen a lot sooner than they expect, but I don't think it's going to happen like tomorrow. Thank you, Crypto. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. I love making them. Also, guys, we have 338 people in here, only 81 likes on the stream, so make sure to drop a like on the stream. Nicholas, it all depends on what time perspective you're looking at for for XRP to hit a certain price. Look, I don't think XRP is going to hit 3 to 4 digits in the next 3 to 4 years, right? XRP can hit 3 to 4 digits over the 5 to 6 to 10 year period. That's a realistic time period for XRP to really make some exponential gains into that 3-digit mark. If you're talking about this year, 2025, then I think $27, I think around that is realistic. Now, the market's going to have to pump hard for that to happen, right? XRP is going to have to get exponential. It's going to have to get parabolic. But once XRP gets exponential and parabolic, then it's going to start moving dollars at a time in very quick, in single candles, right? XRP is going to do a $2 candle when it really gets parabolic. So, XRP is going to pump. It's going to pump hard. And I think it's going to blow a lot of people's expectations out of the water. I think the price is going to get a lot more volatile and a lot more parabolic than people expect. But I don't think it's going to be a straight line here to $300, right? I think we need to see significant adoption. We need to see rules in the United States. We need clarity. We need Bitcoin to not crash back down. We need more institutional interest, right? Everything needs to keep moving in the right direction. And XRP needs to stay in its place as the best cryptocurrency for moving value to point A to point B. For me, all those things are happening on a daily basis, right? Right now, I believe we're on the right track. I believe we're on the right track for all of this to happen. But, you know, it has to keep happening, right? We can't see XRP just lose all its development, lose all its progress, lose all the institutions using it, and expect it to keep going up in price. We need XRP to keep succeeding. It has been. I think it will continue to, but it's just important to point that out. Nicola, shout out to you. Shout out to you. If I had to pick XLM or HBAR, I would pick HBAR. And let me break down my logic why. I would pick HBAR only because I already hold so much XRP, right? I think XRP and XLM are pretty similar in what they're trying to do. HBAR is a little different in their approach, so I think HBAR would better hedge my bet on XRP than XLM. XLM is a similar project to XRP in the scope of what it's doing. So I would just pick HBAR for diversification, but they're both good projects. That's the thing about people on this stream, right? Like there's a very, very smart, sophisticated group of investors who watch this channel, specifically who show up these live streams every day. So a lot of times people will ask me, hey, do you prefer this asset or this asset? And they're three good assets, right? I'm looking at this comment right now. My top three bags are XRP, XDC, XLM, right? Those are three great assets. So a lot of times people ask me which asset's better, this one or this one, and you hand me two great assets, right? And I'm sitting there thinking either one of them could be great, right? That's the thing about kind of this group of people. It's a bunch of very, very smart investors here who are investing in utility, right? It's not like I'm being offered, hey, which one's better, HBAR or Shiba Inu, right? Or something like that. These are top tier projects with institutions building. So a lot of the times, I'm not going to say you can't go wrong, but when you're picking between great projects, right? That's why you diversify a little bit. You throw your funds around a couple great projects and you don't have to be perfect, right? The ones that win are going to win big. Thoughts on Caspa? I don't know a lot about Caspa. I mean, thank you, Crypto Clay. Thank you. Look, you can't be an expert in everything, right? And I'm not an expert in Caspa. There's a lot of coins I'm not an expert in. For me, the easiest and most obvious bet in the market outside of, right, like Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is just, at this point, was just easy money with the institutions coming in. The bet that I think that has the most upside potential and the most real world staying power is obviously XRP. So I just focus a lot of my attention on XRP because for me, like, look, I can go into 300 different coins if I wanted to, but what's the point if I think XRP is going to be one of the top performers out of all of them? It's just less money I can put in XRP. So XRP for me is just the most obvious holding. It's the most obvious thing that I look at and I say I need to have a lot of this in my portfolio. There's other projects I like a lot, but it's not necessarily just something that I need to have. I need to own at the given moment. Crapshoot full people are saying that this is a fake breakout and XRP will never reach $1. Is this correct? Absolutely not. Look, XRP reached $1 in the middle of the Ripple SEC case when it still looked like XRP could be declared a security. XRP reached $2 in that time. So anyone telling you that XRP can't reach a certain price has absolutely no idea what they're talking about. XRP is going to hit prices that are going to blow people's minds. And I think over the long term, the chart of XRP is going to be so exponential that you can't even really see the prices today. What do I mean by that? Well, take a look at the prices of XRP in 2013 to 2018 on the XRP price chart. What you're going to see is you can barely even see any of that price action. It actually doesn't even really show up in the chart. It just shows up in a straight line. What does that mean? It means that the price got so parabolic in 2018 that it actually washed away all the price history that we saw prior. You can't even see it unless you zoom in on a logarithmic chart. I think the same exact thing is going to happen next time XRP pumps big. I think what is going to happen is the price of XRP trading between 30 cents and $1, right, is going to look like absolutely nothing. It's going to look like a flat line because XRP will go so exponential, it's going to wash away a lot of that price history. And I think the funniest part about that is I think a lot of people are going to look at the chart when that happens and say, wow, I can't believe I was sitting there questioning myself about whether I buy XRP at 30 cents or $1. I can't believe I thought it mattered whether or not I got XRP at 70 cents or 30 cents. I think people are going to realize at that time that it never really mattered what price you got XRP at as long as it was under $1, as long as it was under $2. And what's going to end up happening is people are just going to realize like, hey, I spent so much time trying to pick the perfect price point. I didn't spend enough time just dollar cost averaging in. Now, A lot of that is just my guess on how I think things could go. Obviously, no one knows exactly what will happen. But in the same way, where if you were buying XRP between 2013 and 2018, right? It didn't matter whether or not you got it at half a penny, or you got it at 1 penny, or you got it at 2 cents, 5 cents, 8 cents, 9 cents, right? At the time when you got XRP at half a penny, it went to a penny, you were probably sitting there like, oh, this is sick gains. I'm not buying any more, right? I'm not going to buy any more XRP at half a penny because now it's at 3 pennies. But over the long term, right, you were in a great position buying XRP at any point. It didn't matter because the price went so parabolic. And that's what I think a lot of people need to understand. It's hard to understand exactly how parabolic a price can go until it happens, and then it does that, and suddenly all the prices you were worried about before are suddenly insignificant. They suddenly don't matter. Look, I have a bunch of assets in that, like Quant. I think Quant a long time ago in 2019 maybe, I was buying Quant at $5, right? And then the price went to $15, and I was like, oh, I can't buy any more Quant, like it's already up so much. And then it went to $400. So all of that worrying about where the price was so silly over the long term, because the price was going to get so much more exponential that it didn't matter whether or not I was buying up 100, 200, down 30%. None of those things mattered. I don't recommend anyone hold any amount of XRP that is like a stock number, right? I never tell people you should hold this much XRP. Everyone's going to have a different amount of XRP they need to hold. Everyone is going to have a different financial position in which their holdings of XRP are going to be different. Look, if you only have $100 of net worth to your name, I'm not going to tell you you should have that entire $100 in XRP, right? That'd be insane. Now, if you have $10 million to your name and you tell me, oh, I have $100 in XRP and I'm really worried, then I'd say, okay, well, maybe you could hold a little more XRP than that $100, right? Maybe if you have $4 million in cash in your bank account, maybe you could stretch that $100 a little bit to get some more XRP. So no one's financial position is ever going to be the same, and everyone needs to do things based on their own financial situation. And I'm going to have some really exciting things coming up in terms of that to really help people out there, because I think a lot of people in this market really want financial advice. I think a lot of people in this market really want an advisor, really want someone to help them go through their portfolio and really break these things down. So hopefully there's going to be some really exciting stuff coming in terms of that, and we're really going to be able to work together to better understand what a good portfolio looks like compared to where your actual financial situation is. But for now, all I can say is not financial advice. You have to do what's best for you. Hopefully I can add more than that in the future. See what else we got. Any questions? Guys, it looks like the AMM is going to be going live in the near future, which is very exciting. Obviously, we went backwards on that a little bit, then we had to go back forwards, but it looks like the AMM is coming at a pretty quick rate now. We should have it in the next 2 weeks. I believe it's March 22nd we're expected to have it. Yeah, please no spamming. It's my birthday, shout out. Is your birthday today or March 22nd? All right, this person's gotta get hidden. Nicholas Olette, nice to see you. Oh, I think we'll definitely get past the 75-cent resistance. We just need to get some more excitement in the market. I think we're definitely heading there over the short term. We just got to keep pushing up. Guys, any questions, make sure to drop them in the chat. I don't really focus on individual price levels that much. I think it's a little bit of a waste of time. You know, a lot of people just say XRP is going to go to 75 cents, then 85 cents, then 95 cents, and they're just doing intervals of 1 cent, right? There's not really that much to the intervals. People are just giving those intervals. So I'm not really watching specific prices that much. For me, right, I'm more focused on volatility over short amounts of time. So regardless of what price something goes to, I'm more focused on seeing large amounts of volatility in very short periods of time. So XRP doing what it did yesterday, where it moved up a cent, or it moved up 10 cents in the matter of 30 minutes, right? For me, that's exciting. That means volume is coming in. That means price is getting exponential. And that means that it's going to start moving very large price increments at a single time. Like, for me, that's what's exciting. It's not watching an individual level, right? If we slowly grind up to like 80 cents, that's not as exciting as XRP just flying right through 80 cents in a single candle. So I focus more on that volatility all in a short period of time. For me, that lets me know that XRP has really got some momentum. Nicholas, I cannot teach you how to invest at the moment, but hopefully in the near future, I will be able to. Look, at the moment, I'm not allowed to provide any financial advice or anything like that, but hopefully in the near future, I'm going to have solutions to people who want to learn how to invest, people who want a financial advisor to help them. I think there's going to be some cool things coming in the future in regards to that, but right now, I just can't provide that because of regulations in the United States. Things will change, though. Things will change that. In late April, maybe. We'll be close. We'll be close. See what else we got. Let's see what else we got. Sorry, XRP Peaky Blinder. I didn't see your last question. Let me take a look. Oh, okay. That's a good question, XRP Peaky Blinder. Why? So, let me just... No problem, Nicholas. No problem. So, what Peaky Blinder is asking is a very, very, very interesting question. So right now, the Grayscale fund is trading at premiums that are absolutely ridiculous. Solana in the Grayscale funds is essentially trading for like $600 or something like that. So the question is why would any institution buy the Grayscale fund with Solana trading at these insane premiums versus buying Solana? And there's a couple answers here we have to get into. Okay. So the question is right, you can buy Solana right now for $150, but people are buying the G Solana fund, which is like a stock, for $800 a Solana. Why in the world are people doing that? So the first thing I'll say, and this is not the answer I think it is one answer would be, hey, it's just retail pumping up the prices. They don't know what they're doing. I don't think that's the case. I really don't. To me, I don't see any real FOMO on Grayscale products for Solana or for any of the cryptocurrencies. Why? Because retail normally just goes to the spot exchanges. Retail normally just gets a Coinbase account. I don't really know any retail holders who are looking to buy Grayscale funds for altcoins. That's just not hype I've seen. So I don't think it's that. My explanation right now, and it's important to understand, this is a theory, I don't have any proof of this, is that big institutions are not actually able to hold spot Bitcoin. Big institutions do not have an ability to go out and buy spot cryptocurrency products. They can't buy spot Solana. So what are they doing? Well, they want exposure to Solana, and the only thing they can get exposure to Solana with is the Grayscale products. So institutions are essentially being forced into the Grayscale products because it's the only way they can get exposure to the altcoins. So what I think it's really showing, XRP Peaky Blinder, is there's a massive amount of institutional interest in the altcoin sector, but they can't actually buy the altcoins. They're being forced into the Grayscale products. And those Grayscale products are not putting underlying demand on the spot assets. So I think what we're really seeing is a lot of institutional demand for the altcoins that hasn't showed up in the spot market yet, but I think it's going to show up. And guys, it's all pointing to the same direction. So I tried to make this point clear in my video I did last night, right? in the beginning of the year, we only really had one sign that the market was getting better, right? The only really sign we had was like, oh, it looks like institutions might be looking to get this ETF approved. And that was really all we saw. And we were kind of guessing, hey, an ETF would be good for Bitcoin and that money was going to flow into other assets. It was looking good, right? It was looking really promising, but we didn't have a lot to look for to say, okay, this market is about to get parabolic. Now things have completely changed. Now we have Bitcoin at an all-time high. Now we have Ethereum approaching an all-time high. Now we have these Grayscale products that are meant for institutions popping off and showing significant premiums. Now we have essentially different ETFs being filed for other cryptocurrencies, or at least institutions saying they're going to do that. Now we have institutions like BlackRock saying, hey, it's not just Bitcoin, it's going to be cryptocurrency in general, because that's where the real innovation is. We are seeing all the signs aligning to the fact that this market, right, is just getting started, but there is a lot more to go. We are seeing all the signs that everything is now indicating upward. Before, there was one or two signs here or there, you really had to search for them, but now things are really looking good for the entire market. Ed said, any AI projects you like, any that will help XRP? So Ed, I'm not a huge fan of AI and crypto at the moment. There's none I'm specifically focused on. Now, there probably are some very good ones that I just don't have a lot of information on. The AI projects I'm more focused on, though, are in the public markets. There's a company called Palantir I like a lot. I think they're making some huge strides towards artificial intelligence, but I really don't see an advantage of being an AI cryptocurrency project at the moment. Do you think they divest those funds when spot is allowed, or... Okay, so that's a very good question, XRP Peaky Blinder, and I appreciate the donation. Do I think they divest those funds when spot is allowed, or further? Okay, so when they are allowed to buy the spot product, I think they're going to funnel into the spot product in a really big way. I think right now what we're seeing is them funneling into the institutional product and absolutely mooning the price, right? Absolutely mooning the price. But they don't want the price mooned, right? This is not something they're enjoying, because they want to be able to accumulate as much as possible at these low prices. These big institutions know what's coming. They don't want to be instantly making the price go up exponentially. That's why there's an OTC market in almost every market out there. If a massive institution wants to buy Bitcoin, right, they're not buying Bitcoin on the spot market, they're buying it OTC. Why? They don't want to pump up the price. Why don't they want to pump up the price? Because typically institutions invest for the long term. They're building long-term holdings. They want to get as much as cheap as possible for the longest amount of time. So I think when these institutions are allowed to buy spot, they're just also going to pump up the spot market. So right now they can only pump up the futures market, so that's where all their activity is going. And it's causing the price to skyrocket. I think what's going to happen is once they can invest in the spot market is also going to skyrocket. I think we're just seeing the big money can't really get into the spot market yet, but they're going to be able to. Is that going to cause the premiums in the futures market to drop? That's a good question. Maybe a little bit. I think if the premiums right here, right now are here, and spots here, maybe we see something like this XRP Peaky Blinder. Maybe we see something like that, right? Where the premiums come down a little, but at the same time, the premiums are coming down, the spot price gets kicked back up because institutions are moving in. I think that's the most realistic situation. Oh, Crypto Clay, that is a great point. Okay, so Hugo Filion of the Flare Project, and Crypto Clay, you're always providing great information, especially when I just barely miss something. You always give me like the perfect segue to jump back into that. Yeah, Hugo Filion has been talking a lot about AI and how Flare can be used for data. That could be really interesting. I want to say right now that he's not even saying what Flare is doing in regards to it yet. Hugo is a very smart guy. I think he's going to have some very interesting products for Flare and AI, but it's just being built out yet. Built out now. It's in the very early stages. Crypto and AI is going to be very interesting. The main way I'm looking at crypto to really help AI in the short term is to help audit code. If artificial intelligence can help audit code, we're going to see releases much faster. We're going to see the code is a lot more robust. We're going to see recommendations added to the code that makes it more powerful. And we're going to see the development of the blockchains we know today happen at a much quicker rate. Now, those are all things that can happen right now, right? These aren't things that we don't necessarily need to be progressed. So that's what I'm focused on now. Over the long term, there's likely going to be very insane mixes of blockchain technology and artificial intelligence that I can't even wrap my head around today. Murdoch, I don't know too much about ICP, to be honest with you. I think it's a very interesting project. I can't really speak on it that much, right? Render, Fetch AI. Yep, nope, Render and Fetch AI are both good ones. I don't know AGIX, but there's a lot of great AI cryptocurrency projects. I just think they might be a little bit ahead of themselves. Here's why I think they might be ahead of themselves, just to make this clear. Institutions or companies are already skeptical of cryptocurrency, right? Even Ripple, the company, has very, very simple use cases for cryptocurrency, just moving value from point A to point B. And that's a tough sell to a lot of customers just because there's a lot of skepticism around cryptocurrency. There's also a lot of skepticism around artificial intelligence, a lot of skepticism, a lot of fear. To sell a company on the fact that, hey, not only do I have a cryptocurrency, but it's also incorporated with an artificial intelligence language program, right? I don't know if that's going to be an easy sell for institutional customers today. Over the long term, I think it's going to be a great sell for institutional customers. But right now, I actually think the centralized artificial intelligence companies have kind of a leg up on the decentralized artificial intelligence programs, just because it's nice when you're working with AI to have a central counterpart you can go talk to and say, hey, what is going on here? What are we building? How is this going to be used? And how do we put safeguards on it? So I like the centralized artificial intelligence market a little more than the decentralized one at the moment, but I could be very wrong on that. And there's going to be applications like what Hugo is building to create infrastructure for AI using cryptocurrencies, which is going to be a very interesting use case. I just learned that every time you withdraw your ICP tokens, withdraw your LP tokens from an AMM, you reduce your yield by 50%. How do you work around that? I need to look into that. I don't know specifically what you're talking about. The Zanga, if you've been trying to buy XRP, the Zanga, if you follow me on X and my X details, right? There's gonna link to my X account. In all of my videos, and also in all of my videos, there's a link to Uphold. If you click on that link, it will say best place to buy XRP. It will take you to an exchange you can buy XRP. Steve, welcome. Love to have you, man. Love to have you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I always make sure to try to address all my members' questions, so that's really the benefit of being a member. I'll always make sure I can get to your question, and it just supports the channel a lot. I really appreciate anyone who does that. I say this all the time, but my long-term goal is to try to do these videos full-time, so really appreciate anyone who supports the channel, and it gets me to my end goal so much faster, and ultimately, I think that end goal is going to help you guys out more than anyone, so Ed says, what other AMMs out there are there on other chains? So this is very interesting. There is already an automated market maker on, yes, such a good point, Mark. PancakeSwap, Uniswap, SundaySwap. These are all automated market makers on other chains, but they are not native to the chain. So automated market makers, right, are typically layer 2 applications like Uniswap. Automated market makers on the XRP ledger are going to be native to the XRP ledger. It's going to be built into it. So I believe the XRP ledger is going to be the first chain with a native automated market maker built into it, which is essentially going to drastically increase the core functionality of the XRP ledger, right? Rather than having another application built onto the XRP ledger that offers you an automated market maker, the XRP ledger itself is the automated market maker. And I think it might be the first instance of that happening. So the XRP ledger here in this case is the utility. It is the technology. You don't have to build the utility somewhere else and then duct tape it to the XRP ledger. The automated market maker is built into it. And that's what's so cool about the XRP ledger. Thank you, man. Damon, welcome. Really appreciate you joining, man. You guys are absolutely awesome, and thank you guys so much for the support. You guys are absolutely incredible. Michael, thank you for the price updates too. It looks like our guy William Whitmore might be on a little bit of a vacation, so I really appreciate you providing those price updates. It's really helpful when I don't have my extra phone on me. Blockchain Rocker, nice to see you. Don't worry about being late, man. We just like to see you here. Damn, we got another member. That is awesome. It looks like to me that's awesome, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are absolutely incredible. You make these live streams so much fun. I say this all the time. It's my favorite part of my day every single day, coming out here, getting to do these live streams, talk to you guys, and just talk about the market, right? Even when something's not happening. Richard, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Even when something's not happening, I love when I can come out here and just talk to you guys about what's going on in the market. Murdoch, you 100% get to smoke a doobie with me, regardless of whether or not you're a member. We'll get to that. We'll get to that day. Don't focus too much on the short-term price action, Mr. G. Don't focus too much on the short-term price action. This market is headed to some things that are going to blow people's minds. There's no point in getting too overly focused on the short term. Crypto Clay, absolutely spot on again. Flare has the native oracles, and that's what's so unique about Flare. XRP is going to have a native automated market maker and native DEX, and actually XRP is looking to add native oracles as well. So these native functionalities are really significant. Let me go on a little bit of rant here just for fun, just because I don't see any questions at the exact moment, but okay, this is going to be interesting. So the automated market maker, right, being built into the XRP ledger is different than other applications where essentially it's built on top of it. One of the very cool things about the XRP ledger that I think gives it an advantage is the fact that it's lean, mean, and efficient. There's not a whole bunch of things weighing it down like on Ethereum, which makes transactions take forever and things go really slow. The XRP ledger has the ability, right, to only add the things that are going to be very significant and need to be a layer 1 functionality. So while other blockchains have infinite programmability, which you could argue is important, it also slows down the blockchain. And I see infinite programmability as a better use case for a test application rather than an actual production application. Right? When you're using a production system, you don't want full functionality. You don't want full programmability because you don't want people changing the rules every single day. That's the problem with Ethereum. The rules are constantly changing. New things are constantly being added that not everyone knows about. On the XRP ledger, everyone knows about all the features at any given time. Everyone knows the rules of the system. And I think that's actually an advantage. It's more production. You want to be using production products that aren't constantly changing, where things aren't constantly moving around from one goalpost to another. That's what's happening on Ethereum. And that's why I think the XRP ledger's mechanism of amendments being put forth that add core functionality to the protocol can actually be very, very, very important to its success over the long term. Damon says, I have 7,000 XRP and it's the only cryptocurrency I own. Will I be okay over the long term? Look, I can't give anyone specific investment advice. You need to analyze whether or not you believe that's going to be good over the long term. Look, what's the long term for you, right? Are you going to sell all your XRP at $10? Do you think it's going to get to $100? You need to judge that for yourself. But I would say if XRP is able to drop, right, 30% and you're not going to feel like you're in a panic, you probably don't have too much XRP, right? If XRP can go down and you don't feel like, oh, I'm screwed, like I'm not going to be able to afford this next month, right? You probably don't have too much. Now, whether or not you have enough, that just depends on what you think XRP can get to over the long term. If you're a believer, right, that XRP is only going to get to $10, then and you want more than 70K, right, then you might need more XRP. If you think XRP is going to go to $100 and you're going to have $700,000, then maybe you do have enough. But draw out some price predictions you think are realistic and then evaluate whether or not you have enough XRP. The only advice I can give you is if XRP goes down and you start to feel like, oh no, I'm screwed, this is bad, I should have never bought this amount, I'm over leveraged, that's when you probably have too much. As long as you're not feeling like that, then it's more about setting what price you think XRP can go to and evaluating whether or not you have enough XRP in those situations. Yep, I agree with major benefits. It's just important that people realize that it's hard to ask me whether or not you have enough XRP because I just don't know your financial situation. And I really do think I'm going to be able to add something to this community very soon that will actually allow me to help people with that question on a personal basis. I just can't do it right now legally. If you plan on selling certain amounts of XRP when it hits your price targets, I would have multiple places set up where you can sell the XRP in case one goes down. What we're seeing is exchanges are extremely fragile. So sign up with Coinbase, sign up with Uphold, sign up with crypto.com, anywhere you can sell your XRP. That way, when the time comes to actually sell XRP, if that's your strategy, if you want to take profits, you have an easy way to sell it. Me personally, I'm going to be holding most of my XRP for the long term. I'm probably going to be selling things like XDC and HBAR and those coins over my XRP. Should you hold XRP in a hardware wallet? It all depends what you're trying to do with your XRP, okay, right? If you want to hold your XRP for the next 5 to 10 years and you don't want any risk of exchanges, hardware wallets are the way to go. If your plan is to sell XRP within the next year, then maybe it doesn't make sense to put it on a hardware wallet because it'd be better off already on an exchange. If you plan to use your XRP in an automated market maker or plan to use it on an F asset, then it makes more sense to have it in a hot wallet, right? Where you can constantly be accessing your phone and moving that XRP around to do different things. So what I always tell people is make sure you leave your options open to every single different form of custody, right? Whether or not it's a hardware wallet, whether or not it's a software wallet, whether or not it's an exchange. Every single different way of custody all has its utility. You want to take advantage of using each form of custody for its utility and not using it for your drawbacks, right? So if your plan is to hold XRP for 10 years and you told me my strategy for that is to hold it on an exchange, I would say, okay, well, you're using the exchange for the wrong purpose. The exchange is for selling quickly and having liquidity and moving out of the asset, not for long-term holding. Tangent Wallet, I think Tangent Wallet's definitely pretty good. Awesome, Daniel. I'm glad I could help. Nostro Vostro will flow into AMM. Kinda, yeah. I do think that makes sense. I think ultimately liquidity is going to flow into the automated market maker, and Nostro Vostro accounts will end up ceasing to exist, and instead it will kind of be an automated market maker's type of event. Now, whether or not it's the same exact thing, it won't be. The automated market maker will be a significant upgrade to the current Nostro Vostro system. But when you think about it, it's a similar thing at the end of the day in what it adds to the system. The nice thing about a Nostro Vostro account, an automated market maker account versus a Nostro Vostro account is it's instantly liquid. You always have the money. You could always pull it out or move it. Fractions of a second, that value's there. If the AMM is so good, do you still see people choosing to put money with banks on bonds, etc., for less yield? Okay, that's a great question. That's a great question, Ken. That's a great question. So what Ken is asking is, if the automated market maker is going to be such a great opportunity, why would anyone use banks or bonds or whatever? Okay, this is very important to understand. The automated market maker is going to have a lot of risk compared to a bank or a bond. Banks and bonds have very, very low risk, and that's why they have less yield, right? Banks have low risk, bonds have low risk, and that's why typically they have less yield. Now, there's high risk bonds, right, that are junk bonds that have more yield to them, but we're going to leave that out of the equation for now. The automated market maker is going to have a lot more risk. The automated market maker is a tool to add liquidity to the XRP ledger, and in the process of adding liquidity to the XRP ledger, you can also generate a yield. So it's going to be a complement to these safer systems. The automated market maker is going to be a really good way for you to take 5% of your XRP, right? 3% of your XRP, 10% of your XRP, put it in a pool and generate income based on your XRP. But it's not a savings vehicle, right? It's not some kind of vehicle that's going to give you guaranteed returns. It's more of a vehicle that you're going to be able to use to add income sources or get income sources from your XRP. And it might not even be the best way to generate income from your XRP, right? The F assets might be a better way to generate income from your XRP. The EVM sidechain might provide staking for your XRP or lending to your XRP that is better than the automated market maker. Over the long term, I do think bonds and savings accounts are going to be heavily disrupted by these different products. I think there's going to be so much yield in the cryptocurrency sector that it's going to be dumb to be putting money in a savings account or a bond, because at that point, the risks are going to be a lot more understood in crypto, and there's going to be a lot better ways to generate guaranteed yield in cryptocurrency markets. But we're far away from that right now. So right now, the reason why you wouldn't go all in on an automated market maker is there's a lot more risk than a bond. Automated market makers have something called impermanent loss. And I don't want to get into that right now, but that's risk, right? That is risk you're forced to accept. So there's going to be risks and trade-offs of every solution. And I talk about this all the time on my channel. Figure out what the pros are, figure out what the cons are, and then figure out how you can use that tool appropriately. Pros and cons aren't necessarily a bad thing. They help you tailor to how you're going to use a certain product, right? So if you have a very, very, very safe way to earn a yield, then you can put a lot of money in something. But if you have a very risky way to earn a yield, that yield is going to be higher. You can put less capital in it and still make a lot of money. So just make sure you know the pros and cons of everything you're using. We have no idea yet, and it's going to be depending on what pool you use. Galicio, it's going to depend on what pool you use. I think that's how I should be pronouncing your name. It's going to depend on what pool you use. So an XRP to USDC stablecoin pool, right? That might be a lot less yield than an XRP to, say, XDoge pool or something like that. It's all going to depend on which pool you're using. And as much as I like to speculate on it and talk about it, it's a little pointless until it goes live, because everyone until that day is just guessing. That's the cool thing about DeFi markets, right? They create themselves. The yield is created when the market's there. The market prices the yield appropriately. Until we see the market actually pricing these things, we have no idea what's going to happen. It's not like some centralized party comes in and says, I'm going to offer 3%, right? It's all controlled by supply and demand. It's controlled by market forces. It's true capitalism in these things. But because of that, we need to see the market get created before we can go speculating on which markets are going to create the highest yield, where the yield is the safest, right? We need to see these things be put into effect. Okay, Ed, if you want to practice, and oh man, I haven't done this yet, Ed. There are dev nets you can practice on. I can try to provide you some more information on that. I'll send you a DM. I have not used them yet. I have not experimented on them yet. It probably would be a very good idea to practice on those. I think that's a good idea. I just don't know the ins and outs of exactly how to hook up to the testnet. It's probably kind of complicated. You probably have to go through some hoops to actually get everything set up. I don't know the specifics of it, but you can actually practice on the DevNet for the automated market maker today. For the XRP automated market maker, you can use it on a DevNet. Now, I don't know the specifics on how to jump through all those hoops. It's probably a lot of stuff put out by the XRP Ledger Foundation. If you're just looking to learn about an automated market maker, you could probably learn a lot about the Uniswap automated market maker, and that will likely give you a good idea of how to add liquidity and how all that works. From what I understand, the XRP Ledger automated market maker is close enough to the Uniswap automated market maker to give you a good idea of what's going on. But just understand, there are ways to actually access the XRP Ledger automated market maker today on a testnet. So you have a couple different ways to learn and practice if you want to. I don't think it's necessarily going to be easy. I don't think it's necessarily going to be easy to use the automated market maker when it goes live. And that's why I tell people, right? There's no sense in being the first person to it. The yield's not going to be that much better. I think the better strategy is to wait for the people who are taking the risk, people who are okay with losing money, to go in and YOLO into some of these things and kind of clear the way. And then for us to come in afterwards and say, oh, there's a very safe pool right here where there's not a lot of impermanent loss where we can make a lot of money. So long-winded answer of saying there's multiple options, but I don't really know. But hopefully that's at least a little helpful. I would say if you just want to learn very easily how the automated market makers are going to work, I would highly suggest doing some research on Uniswaps to give you a better idea on automated market makers in general. If you want more about the XRP specific automated market maker, then that's when you would start looking through the documentation being provided by the XRP Ledger Foundation, the documentation being put out honestly all over Twitter, all over X. There's a lot of good documentation how the XRP Ledger automated market maker is going to work. And then after that, if you want more, maybe utilizing something like the testnet, although I have a feeling that's going to be a little over the top. David did say something about impermanent loss and how the automated market maker gets rid of it. I've seen so many conflicting things on that. That's why I always say, like, I just want to see it go live and then we can really break down what's happening. Just because, like, I don't really like talking about some of this stuff before it happens, just because things change so fluidly and you never know what's actually going to be put in production. That's why I don't talk about it too much, but we'll just see when it goes live, right? We got 2 weeks. I don't think it matters to talk about it beforehand because I don't think you want to be the first one using it, right? Like when a new roller coaster opens in an amusement park, do you want to be the first one on it? Like, yeah, you get to be the first one on it. You get that cool experience of saying, I was the first one to ride the roller coaster, but it doesn't seem so cool when the roller coaster crashes, right? Then it's like, oh, I wish I wasn't the first one on it. I wish I was like the last one on it. So I think it's going to be similar with the automated market makers. I don't think the people who are going to be the first ones to use the automated market makers are really going to get that much out of it, right? Even if the yield is higher, they're only going to get a higher yield for a couple weeks before everyone else gets in. So it's just important to realize, like, oh, Galicio says that Lewis Jackson on YouTube just came out with a great video on the automated market maker. Yeah, guys, maybe check that out. I haven't seen the video yet, so don't hold me for anything he says in the video. Obviously, I know you guys aren't like that. It's just important to keep in mind. But I definitely trust what Galicio is saying. If you saw he watched a great video on the automated market maker, maybe check out Lewis Jackson's video on that. I'm sure he did a great breakdown on it. Look, I'm going to be breaking it down as much as I can when it goes live. It's got to go live, right? Like I was saying, like, look, I can talk about it all day long and I can have people running to jump on the roller coaster when the roller coaster gets opened up. I just don't think there's an advantage to being the first one on the roller coaster, right? I think we're going to be all perfectly fine going to the amusement park 3 days later once we know, hey, everything works great. Here we are. We're going to go take advantage of the rides you guys all tested for us. Like I said, the automated market maker generates yield, right? Are you really going to get that much yield in a 3-day period? That's not how things work, right? Yield accumulates over time. Yield is something where you keep your XRP in there for long periods of time, right? Months at a time for that yield to generate. Are you going to miss out on 3 days without being in the automated market maker? I highly doubt it. So I always say that the better strategy is to say, hey, let the risky people jump in, test things out for you, get rid of the risk, and if you miss out on 2 days of yield, so be it. You get in the third day once you know kind of what's going on a little bit better. So that's always been my perspective. Not everyone has that perspective. If you want to jump right in and you want to test, be my guest. It's just not necessarily what I'm going to be doing. Crypto Clay, that's good. That's good. Yep, Galicia, right? And look, if you want to participate with like 100 XRP, right? And say you have tens of thousands of XRP, right? If you want to participate with 100 XRP, right? Now, I'm not saying don't do that. Like, hold your horses. Don't participate with your 100 XRP. I just mean for any kind of real value. Like, I think it's a great idea when they go live. If you want to experiment with 10, 15 XRP here and there and start messing around, like, go for it, right? That's great. That's very, very smart. I'm more speaking on the idea of saying, okay, I'm ready to go in with 5% of my XRP bag now. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I see a lot of people doing this. Click this button, right? That's what I would highly encourage not to do. Start off slow and go very easy. I want to answer this question, though, before I shut this thing down. Ahan Sarda said, what's XRP? I'm a complete noob. Well, don't you worry. That is the exact kind of question I love to see. One of the things I really like doing is just educating people on the basics. That's one of my favorite things. This has probably been a very technical live stream for you, Sarda, but here you go. XRP in its simplest form is the fastest way, the most liquid way in crypto, essentially, to move money from point A to point B. Right now in our financial system, the rails to actually move money are extremely outdated. It is very, very hard to move money from point A to point B in our current financial system. And that's because this system is built on pre-internet architecture, before the internet was actually working properly. This causes all kinds of hiccups, all kinds of middlemen to be able to step in front of every single transaction, take fees out of it. It makes things slow. It makes things expensive. XRP at its core, and there's so much more to it, but XRP at its core allows people to move money from point A to point B in a fast and efficient manner in a decentralized way. It's a great new rails for our financial system. It's a new protocol to move money all over the world in its simplest form. Now, there are all kinds of things stacked on top of that in which we've talked about on this channel, but if you are a noob, just wondering what XRP is, it's a fast and efficient way to move value all around the world. All right, guys, we're going to log off the stream for now. I will see you guys all tomorrow. I hope everyone has a great day. It looks like the market is dropping off a little bit. Guys, I'll say this right now. In a bull market, dips are bought up fast. They're sucked up by the institutions. I wouldn't be surprised if by the time I get home today to make a video, this dip was already bought back up and you get a wick straight up to the upside. Let me just say, institutions, right, are going to eat up this market at a very quick rate. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And for now, Mikkel out.